Hello everyone, welcome to the channel.
So today we're going to talk to you about visas. Make sure to stay until the end because we have a few extra tips to add that could be very useful. So we'll start with the visa.
9A. So this is the tourist visa when you arrive in the Philippines. It's the basic visa that you get from the immigration authorities. This visa allows you to stay for 30 days. And then after the 30 days, you can renew it for another 30 days. That means you have 60 days, let's say, as a standard period. After these 60 days, when you go back to immigration, you can renew your visa again for 2 months, but they will issue you an ACR card. This card is like an identity card, but for tourists. And after that, this card is valid for 1 year. And you can, every 2 months, you actually have to go back to the immigration office to do this 30-day renewal process.
So what you need to know is that the first 30 days are free. But you have to fill out a form 72 hours before you arrive. A form that you complete online. There's no need anymore to fill out those little papers on the plane. For the second month, however, you will be required to pay for the visa, which is only valid for 30 days. And after those 30 days, that's when you can get longer visas for 2 months. So at one point, there were 6-month visas. I don't know if they're still available. We'll give you all that information. We'll provide the links where you can find them. Of course, there are the necessary forms to fill out, plus some additional extra information that we will certainly add at the very end of the process.
The forms to fill out before arriving in the Philippines and the e-travel. So this is a mandatory form before entering the country. It's that well-known form that replaces the paper documents. You're talking about the SRRV visa, which is the retirement visa for people aged 35 and over, allowing you to live in the Philippines without working.
So this particular visa inherently allows you unlimited entries into and exits from the country. And it also conveniently lets you open a bank account with ease. Now, from 35 to 49 years old, I believe you need to make a deposit. Well, we've seen different figures. It could be anywhere from $20,000 up to $50,000. So it's worth checking now to see exactly what deposit is required. However, from age 50 onwards, you only need $10,000 and a minimum pension of $800 per month.
So in any case, we'll need to include this information in the document. There you go, by the end of the year. That way you'll have everything you need. That's why we'll give you the download link. And then you can go to this document to check it out. All the information about the IBSA will be there. But here, we're giving you a general overview of the main visas. Sorry if there's noise in the background, people are around. Now we have the work visa. 9G, ideal for foreigners hired by a local company.
There you go. However, you must of course have an employment contract and be registered with the DOL, which is the Department of Labor here in the Philippines. This is generally a visa that can be valid from 1 to 3 years. You'll find more information in the document.
Next, there's the quota visa.
This is a visa that allows you to be a permanent resident here. It's as if you were married, but you don't need to be married. However, it generally comes with a rather high cost. I don't remember the prices because they keep changing, but in this case, you can work here, you can open a bank account, you are considered a Philippine resident.
Next, the SRRV visa. This is a visa specifically for investors, making it ideal for foreigners who want to invest in local businesses.
You will be required to invest at least $75,000. Of course, this gives you a resident visa as long as the company is operating. After that, unfortunately, you lose this visa.
The next visa is the 13A. This particular visa is specifically designed for foreign individuals who are legally married to a citizen of the Philippines.
So with this, you get all the advantages that Filipinos have. You can work, you can buy a house together, and of course, it will also be for your wife. Because even if you're married, you should know that you'll still only have 40% of the shares. So that's something to keep in mind regardless. You have the possibility to open a bank account.
And permanent residency as well. Yes, permanent residency, that's not bad.
You can leave and re-enter the country as many times as you want. However, every time you leave, you'll have to pay, I think last time it was 2,500 pesos each time you exit the country.
And then you have to renew it once a year.
You are required, that's it. Every year you have to renew it, and it costs you 310 pesos. And then you are given a card. So for the first year, however, it's kind of a trial period. If you don't do anything wrong, if you don't get into trouble, they renew it for you for 5 years. And after that, it's renewed every 5 years. Every year you pay 310 to show that you are still residing in the country. And then every 5 years, they issue you a new permanent card to confirm that you live in the Philippines. That's all there is to it.
Next, you have to get a visa, so for temporary assignments. This is for those who want to create or manage a business without necessarily applying for a permanent visa. It's often combined with the 9G or SRRV, depending on the project. And that's all there is to know about that, nothing special.
Now, there's also the employer-sponsored visa, which is also known as the SVEG visa.
This visa is for foreigners who create a business employing at least 10 Filipinos.
Of course, this significantly gives you a permanent resident visa, and quite naturally, the essential ability to open a bank account here.
Ideal for entrepreneurs? Yes. Next, you have the 9F visa. And this visa allows you, so it's a student visa that lets you study at an accredited school or university in the Philippines. That's it.
So if you're interested, make sure the school is accredited, because that happened to my brother. Supposedly the school was accredited. In the end, they didn't process his visa. And when it was time to leave, he was asked to pay a surcharge. That's it. Because the school either wasn't apparently not accredited and he acted in good faith, but he got taken advantage of.
Yes, so make sure to check that the school is accredited.
And that you have the correct visa above all, that it is properly stamped in your passport.
Always check the paperwork here, actually. When they tell you something, don't believe them. Always check that the name is correct. The name must be exactly right, the first name must be exactly right, that you have all the information. If there is a letter, anything that is wrong, you should tell them right away. Because if you don't do that afterwards, they'll make you pay fees to redo it because you won't have the chance to.
Because they do this all the time.
Yes, they do it all the time.
All the time, all the time.
And with foreign names, even more so, because they can't manage, they don't write them, they're not used to writing them. So it depends on the names you have. We're going to give you a few tips, especially about the tourist visa. The others are?
Yes, it's a bit different. It doesn't work the same way.
It's mainly when it comes to overstaying. So that means exceeding the allowed time when you're here. So it can happen that you miss the renewal period for your visa. At that point, you need to go to immigration right away. They'll make you pay a fine. It's about 25 euros. If you go over by a month, that's the maximum. Even 1 day. Even 1 day.
Just 1 day of overstaying and you already have to go to
1 day or 1 month, the same price.
1 day or 1 month, it's the same price.
So if you suddenly realize you're 5 days late, you know you'll have to pay that fine. Plus the visa renewal for 1 month. If you don't do that, in any case, they won't let you leave the country. On top of that, you should know that if you go over by more than a month, you could be considered as, not considered, but yeah, after that you risk being banned from the country and not being able to renew your visa anymore. Because they consider that you simply haven't respected their conditions. After that, they decide whatever they want. You're not in a position of power and you can't do anything. So the best thing is to go a week before it expires.
That's it.
That'll help you avoid problems.
Now, it's true that money solves a lot of things. From what I know, some people I know have overstayed by several months, but well, it still costs them a lot, so best to avoid it.
And that way, yes, they have nothing to say. If there's a problem, there's nothing they can say. Because you should know that immigration has more power than the courts. That means if suddenly you have a problem with a local, that's something I've heard about. If the local reports you to immigration, even if the courts say no to immigration, so they're okay with you staying in the country. If immigration says no, their decision takes precedence. That means they can still kick you out. So be careful.
That's it, simply.
So based on all the information we've given you, we've put together a document. Yeah.
We'll provide you with a link where you can access this document, which will give you all the available information about what we've just discussed, all the types of visas that exist. Yeah, even more.
Because in the document,
yeah, you added quite a lot of things.
But well, we can't share them all, otherwise the video would last an hour. There you go, thank you for watching. We forgot, but don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, because we have a lot of people who like, but it would be great if... Don't forget to also click on subscribe, that way you'll get the latest updates. And well, we still have a lot to talk about, so we'll keep sharing as we go. You'll always get new videos, though they might not always be on time. We don't always stick to a strict schedule depending on what's going on. Here, everyone, good night. But we try to do our best. And above all, if you have any questions, there's a space for that. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. So far, I think we've answered 100% of the questions we've received. We're still able to reply because, well, it's okay. We're not too overwhelmed. I haven't had any questions. We really try to answer everyone. So if you want to leave questions or something specific, we'll do our best to respond. If we know the answer, great. If not, we'll go find the information for you. And then we'll get back to you, that's it. Otherwise, well, as usual, see you in the next video. And we don't know what it will be about yet, but we'll see. So see you soon. Bye-bye.